So thankful for the opportunity to be presenting over here. My name is Karan. I work as a product manager at Google. Have been with the firm for a couple of years now and very excited to talk about how cloud with a specific focus on PG and AlloyDB, which is our in-house offering on top of PG. So to set the agenda for our conversation today, we would be spending a bit of our time on talking about industry trends that have led to these unprecedented a decade or so. Then we would dive deep to talk about how we manage database health and performance. This conversation will be accompanied by live demos, so I'm very excited to showcase some of our in-house tooling that we have built for our database administrators and developer partners, so as to both monitor and improve the overall database performance. We would be then talking about some intelligent workload advisors that help our customers tune their queries and workloads on something which is as simple as a single click. And lastly, we will be talking about how all of this ties back to the Postgres ecosystem and the contributions that we have made to the open source community. Lastly, we will touch upon the road ahead, how we are leveraging some Gen AI components to further extend the path of database health management. And we would love to speak to you on our booth as well to both hear your feedback and answer any questions that you may have. With that, let's think about the overall database market size and the trends that we have seen over the past few years. So per Gartner, there has been a steady increase in the overall market share of database management systems. More importantly, we have seen this trend where more and more customers, both large enterprises and small to mid-sized companies, are moving their workloads to cloud so that they benefit from these managed offerings. I'm sure I no longer need to explain the importance of these managed services. They help our customers with a multitude of offerings ranging from higher reliability, scalability to on-demand services. And we are poised to continue to see this growth, but then this also presents an opportunity to help our customers enhance their experiences by providing the right level of observability on top of these managed database services. At the same time, over the past decade, we have seen interesting trends in terms of evolution of our overall platform. So today, while many enterprise customers have started moving their workloads to managed services like Google Cloud, there also has been a change, a drastic change, if I may, in terms of the overall application patterns. The velocity of deployment has gone up, as has the velocity of development. And many customers are now preferring to use a variety of application patterns based on their needs. And this also necessitates the engine types to vary. And we have, as a result, seen a rise in the multi-cloud strategy for many of our customers. Lastly, we also would want to highlight that there are multiple personas or user profiles who benefit from databases. And while some profiles would want to have a heightened focus on speed or velocity of application development, there are other personas like our beloved database administrators who would want to rather focus a lot more on depth of our offerings rather than just the agility. And now, when we talk about what we as a team have to offer, I just want to highlight that we have been considerate to these needs and have made conscious calls to serve the needs of all our user segments at large. And to be able to do that, we have embarked on this journey with a mission to empower our users, to enable them to quickly understand, troubleshoot, and optimize their databases with the use of a simple and easy to use experience. And to stand true to our mission, there are going to be 3 core principles or tenets to our approach. We would want to keep our offerings as simple as possible. We indeed would want to leverage all the GenAI investments so that we have intelligent offerings that are on the table. And lastly, we want to make sure that we integrate with the overall PG ecosystem and contribute back to the community. And on these principles, the first offering that we would love to talk about is Query Insights. And while I could go over this deck, it's probably more interesting if we were to look at a live demo. So switching gears, imagine that we as customers received an alert that our application was sluggish and faced some slowness at 5 a.m. the previous morning. We would come to this page for Query Insights, which is running on my test Postgres instance, and I would want to know what really happened in my database at that point in time. Now to do that, I can choose a time window of my interest. Maybe I want to look at everything that happened in the last one day. And since I know that the application was sluggish at around 5 a.m. the previous morning, all I need to do is to select a window of interest. Maybe I want to look at everything that happened slightly before 4 a.m. to slightly after 6 a.m. And I see that there were some spikes in my database which were unexpected or unanticipated. And to know more about the reason behind this spike, I can have a view of all the queries which executed in my database, and these queries are sorted as per their total execution time. Now, surprisingly, I see a query, this select query, which has first executed a lot more times than I anticipated and has witnessed a lot of IO wait. If we go back to how this maps to our overall database load, we see that at this point in time, the IO weight was higher than anticipated, and therefore this is probably the query that needs to be evaluated further. To do that, I can click on this query and analyze all its executions over a period of time. For every query execution, we capture a set number of samples to have a deeper view into the query plans and analyze performance from plan to plan. And over here, we see that this plan is indeed the slowest execution, and then there is an unprecedented increase in terms of the execution time. To analyze this further, all I need to do is to click on this plan, and then I can analyze the end-to-end execution view. I see that there are multiple operations that constituted the query, and towards the end, we would see the redetermining step that resulted in the highest latency or the highest cost. And this gives our customers an opinion about what they can do to improve the overall query performance. Maybe to reduce the time spent in the sequential scan, creating an index could be an opportunity or could be not. And therefore, as we would see further in our presentation, we help our customers with a detailed cost analysis that lets them know if creating an index is the right strategy to optimize their queries. But at this point in time, our customers will be empowered to know the slowest running query in the system, the slowest operation in query execution, and very soon, our customers will also be empowered to know what they can do to optimize the slowest step in the query execution or the overall query itself. At the same time, we also let our customers know of all the users and the client IPs that issued this query in the first place. Now, this being a test setup, we just have one user account and just one host. However, imagine a world where there are multiple users issuing the same query and multiple hosts through which these queries are issued. As per the analysis over here, we would also be able to decipher and let our customers know the user accounts and the hosts that issued the slowest running queries. Now, going back to Query Insights, I also want to talk about how the overall performance management ties back to the underlying applications. We let our customers tag their queries as per the choice of their tags, and once these queries are tagged, the tags automatically appear on Query Insights page, and for any given query, the customers will know the underlying controller in the application that issued this query. As an example, this was the slowest query that I was interested in, and now in addition to knowing everything I need to know about the query, I also know the controller and the path to application through which this query was run. And therefore, in case there are issues not really with the underlying database but with the host application instead, we have a way to map these queries back to the host application as well. Going back to our presentation, today Query Insights is generally available for Postgres, MySQL, AlloyDB, and Spanner, and we are continuing to make enhancements to our overall experience, and we would be talking more about those improvements in a moment from now. Now switching gears, till now we have focused on performance management at a workload level. What if there are system metrics or database flags that instead need to be tuned? To help our customers achieve that, we have a different offering which we label as System Insights. And over here, our customers get to see a detailed view of everything that has happened in their system. As an example, over here, I see the CPU utilization at its P99th value as well as P50th value, and a list of other important system level metrics. At the same time, I also get to know more about all the events that have happened in the system. This illustrates that there were multiple backups in the period of last 1 week, and therefore, if we want to optimize our backup processing, that's a call our customers can take. In addition to backups, we also have the flexibility to show other events such as restarts and vacuum, and all those maintenance operations will be captured in this view. Over here, we again see charts that illustrate both workload and system level metrics. So we have charts to highlight the overall latency and load in the database, the error rates, the split of overall disk storage, and our memory consumption. We continue to expand on this list of system metrics that we provide to our customers to help troubleshoot the overall system health. And going back, today this offering is generally available for Postgres, AlloyDB, and Spanner, and it is in preview for MySQL. Now, for these two offerings, for Query Insights and System Insights, we have stood true to our promise of keeping things simple and providing illustrative dashboards to help troubleshoot database performance. We would now switch gears and talk about some of the intelligent features which are in preview, but we are actively building. And the first such feature is a workload advisor that recommends index creation opportunities. This is in preview for AlloyDB, and as illustrated in this mock, our customers will now be able to see all opportunities to optimize queries by creating indexes as soon as they visit Query Insights, and we accompany these recommendations with a detailed cost analysis. So our customers will be able to see not just the commands to create indexes, but the storage space needed to create those indexes, as well as the overall impact on multiple sets of queries, including DMLs. This, we believe, is a pivotal shift in terms of how we looked at overall database performance management, and this is just one of the many items on our roadmap that would help our customers better tune their query and workload performance. Lastly, to stand true to our promise of contributing back to the overall Postgres ecosystem, we have developed a bunch of tools to integrate our offerings with the ecosystem. And the first such offering is SQL Commenter, which is a plugin and has now become an open telemetry standard. This is the plugin that helps our customers tag their queries, which we saw a moment back on Query Insights. And the queries, once tagged, appear on this page and can be mapped or traced back to the underlying host application. As of date, SQL Commenter plugin has been downloaded more than 1 million times by more than 100K customers, and the adoption is only continuing to rise. We also have built mechanisms to let our customers know of alerts every time certain thresholds are breached, and our customers are empowered to set as many thresholds as they like to make sure that all the metrics are behaving as expected. Finally, while we have spoken about what is available for our customers to benefit from, we are equally excited to share our path ahead, and we are completely revamping and rebranding these tools to further highlight our value prop. And we are building assistive capabilities that will help our database administrators, developers, and IT generalists alike to both detect and troubleshoot database performance problems. To illustrate that via some of our visuals, we are investing heavily in correlation analysis. As an example, in addition to having just a query level view, we are going to expand this view to also let our customers analyze all the different databases, user accounts, and hosts that issue queries, and then be able to correlate these across a multitude of dimensions. As an example, in this view, I get to see all different wait events which were witnessed by the system in the last 1 hour, and the impact of these wait events on my top queries. We could also envision a view where all these wait events could be split in terms of their impact on different databases or users or clients, and the analysis is going to be as seamless as the one for queries. In addition to performing ad hoc analysis, we are also further detailing the view into our query plans. We are going to capture plans for every query execution and completely move away from a sampling-based approach that we leverage today. What this implies is that our customers are now guaranteed, or very soon will be guaranteed, to view all query plans for all query executions. We will also continue to expand on the telemetry that's available for our customers today. While we had a sneak peek into some of the metrics that are available at a system level on this date, that list is only going to expand, and we have come up with a list of 100+ metrics that will be available for consumption very, very soon. Lastly, the demo on Index Advisor was just a teaser. We have a lot more that's coming our way. We will soon have recommenders that can tune query plans, suggest opportunities to optimize database flags, and do a lot more. And we are very excited to talk to you about these offerings when we meet at our booth. This was a fantastic presentation, and I'm happy to stay back and answer any questions the community may have over here. Thank you. Yes, please. So today Query Insights is only available for our managed offerings. And yes, we do plan to extend this further as an extension as well, but as of this date, it's only for our GCP managed offerings. Yes, so basically we are going to provide this as an opt-in feature. When we talk about extending telemetry or being able to capture plans for all queries, it definitely will have an impact both in terms of storage and the overall pricing strategy. But it will be an opt-in feature, and our customers can make the right decision depending on their needs. So we do not use PGStat. This is an in-house algorithm that's built on top of our infrastructure, and we have a slightly different mechanism to both capture stats and build these insights on top of those stats. So we do not use PGStat activity underneath. It will be coming soon. We plan to have it generally available by the end of this year. So this is something which is in progress right now and will be available by end of 2024. So maybe that was just an illustration. The frequency at which these are being sampled is close to a second. So depending on the overall query execution, we will be able to show all the wait events basis that frequency at which they are captured. So maybe that was just an illustration, but we are inching closer to a per second granularity. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a great question. We are in parallel also working on being able to show queries that are running live. So we will also have a view that represents active queries, and these queries will be sampled at a much lesser rate. So the granularity will be higher over there, and that's also part of performance insights. It's work in progress. And yes, we will be able to have a deeper view for the queries which are executing live. The view that we just illustrated was for completed queries. Yes, it's based on an extension. So the overall overhead that we have seen in terms of resource consumption is below 5%, and that is something we will continue to uphold. So we will for sure ensure that the overall cost of index advisor or capturing queries or any analytical tool that we build does not exceed that threshold. So since today we follow a sampling based approach, it may not always be completely accurate. And the reason we state that is that at times we tend to miss certain queries which do not fall under the purview of our sampling algorithm. But in performance insights, we will guarantee that all the data that we show is 100% accurate because we are going to capture everything. So for query insights, it's 1 week right now. For system insights, for system metrics, it's 1 month. And very soon, even for query insights, it's going to be 1 month. And that's the short-term goal. In the long run, by the end of this year, we do plan to extend this to up to 2 years. And of course, that will have a separate cost model because it's expensive to retain metrics for 2 years. So today they are stored on our underlying platform, which is not the same infra that's available to our customers. So like we own the storage cost, but once we have the long-term telemetry in place, I think we still need to decide the cost model, but maybe it will be a shared responsibility between the customers and Google. So today we only track application issued or user issued queries. If you would like us to also monitor everything that happens in the background, happy to talk to you. I mean, that's not something we have considered thus far, because monitoring everything issued by the users or applications itself could be quite expensive in itself. But yes, happy to talk more on that. Yes, we are building recommenders that would suggest configuration changes as well. That's also being worked upon as we speak, and they will also be available before the end of this year. So we will suggest opportunities to undersize instances if that's relevant, and to make configuration changes as well, to be able to make certain calls based on the maintenance operations that have happened in the past. So all these activities are on the roadmap for this year. Yes, so that's also being built as part of the active query view that we spoke about. So we will also be able to monitor transactions. Okay, are we at time? Oh, we are time. Okay. All right. So thank you for being such a lovely audience. I'm happy to continue answering questions and look forward to meeting most of you at our booth. Thank you so much.